9 passengers are grateful to be alive tonight after their flight from Governor's Harbour, Eleuthera to New Providence crashed in waters near Clifton Pier this morning.
10 passengers, including the pilot, made it out alive. However, the eldest passenger, believed to be a foreigner, died shortly after that crash. All right, now,
Clint Watson joins us now in studio with the latest on this crash.
And Clint, we understand that calling this pilot a hero is no exaggeration.
You're correct, guys. Tonight we can tell you the reports are that the heroic efforts of the skilled pilot, along with the quick coordinated efforts spearheaded by NEMA, other government agencies, and the staff of Stuart Cole's dives, averted what could have been another aviation disaster, with 7 Americans and 4 Bahamians on board.
They're obviously in shock. I mean, they just went through a traumatic experience, but I think they were fine.
Fear and confusion as frantic passengers aboard Ferg's Air, a contracted charter of Southern Airlines flight from Governor's Harbour to New Providence, were rescued from 35-foot waters off Clifton Pier. The 12-seat Navajo Chieftain was ditched around 9:37 a.m., just short of landing at LPIA on Tuesday. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Paul Roll.
Captain of the aircraft alerted the passengers of the situation and attempted to bring the aircraft into shallow waters. The aircraft was able to get to within 550 feet of the southern coast of New Providence, where the aircraft eventually came to a stop, and he was able to bring the aircraft down in the water in a controlled landing. This was just on the edge of the deep waters. Everybody was able to get out of the aircraft, a total of 10 adults and 1 infant.
He found the calm water because it's blowing 20 knots out of the east. There's very few places you can land. It's rough on both sides of the island. You can't land on the road out here. On one engine on a very heavy aircraft, it's coming down. It's just the other engine's taking you to the crash site. You got to pick a site, and he picked very wisely, and then he landed. Eyewitnesses from the Clifton Pier said he landed that plane beautifully.
Owner of Stuart Cove's Dive Bahamas, Stuart Cove and his team, along with a BEC rescue boat as well as the police and defense forces, coordinated the quick rescue. Cove says the plane was in distress when it flew very low over his operations. He was also alerted by airport officials and quickly dispatched rescuers. He called the efforts of the pilot heroic. Captain Rufus Rev Ferguson. Boat Captain Perry Roberts from Stuart Cove says it took them about 4 minutes to get to the site off Clifton Pier. There they met what appeared to be a BEC Boston whaler with some of the passengers from the plane already on the rescue boat.
We saw maybe 3 more heads, I said. We did the procedure on trying to rescue those guys, which were very panicky. We had to throw lines, and of course I think they were alerted about the plane going down because we met 1 or 2 people on board in the water with already the life vest strapped to the neck, so they would be informed already of some communication by the pilot. We looked back and we saw the boat that we met there with the initial rescue taking on water sinking with those ones, so we had to hurry up and get to those other guys and pull everybody onto the rescue boat, and it was not a nice scene to see that stuff, because it's my first time ever being on some kind of scene like that, but thank God everything went well.
The one victim is believed to be a 77-year-old American male. It's not known whether his fatal injuries were a direct result of the crash, as we're told that all the traumatized passengers made it out of the aircraft safely. 4 ambulances from the Princess Margaret Hospital and 1 from the Red Cross transported the survivors, 4 Bahamians, and 6 Americans to hospital. Director of Accident and Emergency Services, Dr. Alvary Hanna, detailed the condition of those on board.
I would say at this point, more emotional shock at this point. They're all stable vital signs. Maybe, a broken bone here or there, but we would have to do a full assessment.
And the reason why the watchword around here is miracle, well, it's quite simple. This plane was on the border of 35 feet water and 6,500 feet water. It's where the ocean meets the sea. And immediately after they got off, the plane dipped into the ocean, never to be seen again.
And once it goes over the edge, it's going to be in several hundred feet, if not a couple thousand feet. I would be highly unlikely that they could recover that plane.
Which is maybe at the tongue of the ocean, because it's just at the back of the Clifton Pier. It's about 6,000 feet maybe. I think that plane is gone, but commend the pilot also.
Now, again, all of the survivors have been taken to hospital for further observation. Meantime, crash investigators from the Department of Civil Aviation were at the site all day conducting initial assessments. We're told we could expect a preliminary report soon. Also, we can tell you some of the survivors have already begun being released from hospital and are at home recovering. And definitely, if you hear that story, Kendino Altavis is definitely nothing short of a miracle. Back to you guys.